But humans are running out of water. You go 3 days without water, then you're dead. You might be able to drink blood. I don't know about that. I don't know if there's enough water in blood to drink blood instead of water. I'm getting a gun. It's not to defend myself. I'm just gonna kill my family first. I put up with enough of their shit. You're not killing them.
I don't start it, I end it. I don't start trouble with nobody. I didn't ban anybody. Tell them. My hands are here.
I earned these murders.
Big facts.
I want you guys to know that I support abortion in every case, except for rape babies. If you kill a rape baby, that's like tampering with evidence. Blood samples go bad. That kid has fresh blood every day. If I had a rape baby, I'd name him Exhibit A. Everywhere I go, you know what? He looks just like his father. You see someone that looks like that motherfucker, call the police! I want to see this goddamn case solved! My name's Ian Ellis. I'll let you good night.
Before we begin, subscribe to Pop Vulture Inc. for more videos like this. In this chapter of the story, we cover the history of the corporation. You could even call this a prequel in some ways, as we will fill in some of the most notable cracks of the saga.
I found out my wife was planning on cheating on me, like was sexting back and forth with her ex and talking mad shit about what a piece of shit I was. So I told her to come home. So this is my first marriage. So she comes home, we get screaming, arguing, match, and it's over. We decided it's over. We fully agreed. I called my father, who was still alive at the time, and I was like, "Can you get me a plane ticket? Can you get me out of here? Like, I don't want to do nothing." And my wife starts like mocking me and mocking my father and mocking my mother.
Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. So I was a young, emotional man at this time, just in my early 20s, and there's this idea called a hate fuck. Which is actually called rape, but I was calling it a hate fuck, which is where you grab your partner, even though they're mad at you, and you start fucking them, and by the end of it, it's consensual, and you get back together.
Rape, yeah.
So I go in for a good old school hate fucking, and she kicks me really hard several times, and so
colloquially known as rape.
I started punching her in the leg, hard as I could,
Okay,
and then once I realized, yes, I did beat my wife, she ran off, terrified. Well, she limped off. You know, you can't really run when you've been both sexually and physically assaulted.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just gave out some deep
I would
shit.
hope you never get to that level of, like, emotional or depravity. Like, I hope you never sink that low. So my wife leaves, and now here I am in Baltimore. No friends, no family, no wife. I've just beaten my wife and attempted to rape her.
Piece of shit.
Realizing, like, I'm a complete piece of shit. Like, I've turned into everything I never wanted to be. I didn't want to be abusive. Like, my father was.
And you looked around at your neighbors and said, "I'm just like them."
And
what's the point?
Decided I gotta kill myself. This is what I gotta do. There's no other way out of this. It has to end. Even people that want to die don't want to cut themselves. It still hurts. So I went to go get wasted before I did it. And stumbled into an open mic where I did comedy for the first time. And the audience sort of picked me up. They bought me shots. And,
it all
I went home and said, you know what? I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to leave and start a life of comedy.
So instead of killing yourself, you killed a group of people's ears at night.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
you
just
feel
so like
terrific?
comedy's just the thing that keeps you alive now, regardless if you suck at it or not. You have to do it to stay alive.
That was for a long time.
Through tenacious Facebook messaging, Ian Ellis had formed a rapport with former award-winning male stripper and comedian Nero. He was getting quite thirsty, even being accused of coming under some type of squared pimp hypnosis.
Welcome to the Ian Ellis podcast. I'm Ian Ellis. Today we're joined by a very special guest. You might know him as an ex-stripper or an ex-pimp, as a comedian, but he's soon to be known as an author, Mr. Dante Nero.
What's happening? What's going on, baby?
So you got a new book coming out called Get Your Balls Back. Do you want to tell us what the book's about?
Yeah. Well, let me give you the whole inception of it in the first place. I know my good friend, one of my best friends of all time, Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
He was doing some stuff on Opie and Anthony, basically just talking about his ideas. It's just basically what we like to call bitch management. and Opie and Anthony had said to him on air that he needed to do a show. And he called me up and said to me, like we constantly were on the phone,
yeah.
We were kicking on the phone about that subject, bitch management, and he asked me to come on as his second chair because him and I had very similar thoughts on relationships and stuff, and what was actually I guess what I like to call the destruction of men in our society, and that was the birth of the Black Phillip Show, and we did the Black Phillip Show, and it really ended up being kind of this cult classic, and people, this was like almost 4 or 5 years ago. Everybody, I had a series of fans who just kept looking up these old shows, and they posted them on YouTube and stuff, and it became this whole phenomenon. And after he passed, well, not even after, even before he passed, I was getting Facebook and emails from people that wanted us to do the show again. They constantly wanted us to do the show. And then after he passed, it really was kind of a situation where people had been asking us to do the show, and they wanted me to pick up the show. And so I just thought that this was some information that guys needed to hear, just in terms of how to handle themselves in a relationship. And I figured we were actually getting ready to start the podcast within the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The podcast is going to be, the original name of the radio show was Black Phillip. It was kind of a spin-off on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
But instead of calling it Dr. Phil, it was called Black Phillip. The show was called Black Phillip. And I'm not really black. I'm kind of like a light tan. So we decided to call the show Beige Phillip. And it's basically my homage to Patrice O'Neill, the Black Phillip Show, and what we were doing at that time.
Nick G, before he went crazy and became a Proud Boy, started a show with his roommate, the cherub-faced sports enthusiast, broadcasting school attendee and future CEO of the corporation known back then only as Chris. They called the show Red Phillip, paying homage to both Black Phillip and the Dante Nero headline Beige Phillip Show, which Ian Ellis helped produce. Being recognized for his comedic work, Ian was invited as a guest on the Red Phillip Show, and eventually became a permanent fixture as third mic.
If you're a comic and you watch, I remember going to a show with Patrice and Tony Woods, David Tell, Greg Giraldo, and I think Mike Britt was hosting. And those shows, it was such deep water. Like, if you were a new comic and they asked you to do a spot on there, you'd be like, no, thanks, I'm good.
Oh shit! So, not even a showcase, like even if you think you're good enough.
Yeah. You go to you watch those guys and you go, nah, look, I'm not. I don't belong here.
I can't hang. It's like when they tried to feed tomato cans to Mike Tyson. Just eat bums.
That seems like
you're not gonna win.
Yeah, that seems like that should almost be the defining moment of if you're a great comic or not. If you can bang with all the other great, the other comics that have been in it forever.
Well, you got this. You gotta take into consideration there's different styles of comics,
right.
And like for instance, like Gaffigan. Well, I think he's a funny dude, but if you heckle Gaffigan will not go back and forth with you. He'll go, listen, if you heckle again, I'm gonna have security remove you. That was
that's pussy. And it's funny that you mentioned Jim Gaffigan, because he's exactly the person I was thinking of on Tough Crowd that really couldn't get in on the Double Dutch. I was watching his episode, and he just couldn't do it. He was sitting there, and they said something like, "Well, Jim, what do you think of that?" And he's just like, I got nothing to say, man. He just couldn't do it. So it's interesting to watch. To me, it's like you could seem like an amazing comic on stage when you're alone, no other comics, messing with you. But you are a great comic when you can bang it out with all the other comics and sit there. And it's not even about the stage anymore. It's like just sitting at a table with a bunch of comics. Yeah. And you can go back and forth and hold your own. That's, I think, when it's like a defining moment.
Hey, Nick, from the wonderful North American city of Toronto. Hi.
Yeah, this awful cold country. I'm just calling. I'm wondering what you think Opie might want to say off air that he can't say on air. Any speculations towards that?
Well, I don't know, but as I had speculated earlier, I think it comes down to there are certain things, and again, these are some of the personality things that I had talked about, that he can do when it's just me and him in a room talking, that he can't do in front of all of the fans. It's like, I don't want to deal with a passive aggressive kind of a thing. You heard it during the great grape argument. That the way he dealt with that argument is very indicative of how he deals with a serious discussion like that. And I really don't like it and don't want any part of it.
So is it just the passive aggressive stuff, or is it more maybe he wants to say, hey, it's done for good, and he doesn't want to do that on air?
Maybe that's the case too.
On With Apologies, Nick would be harassed for his call into Compound by the CEO and Ian Ellis, telling him that they were kicking him off the show, which prompted him to throw his equipment out of an apartment window and send it hurling to the Toronto streets, only to find out it was just a bit schemed by his co-hosts.
I read through a lot of shit on the internet about the show, especially on Reddit now, and it's astounding how wrong some people have everything. But it's equally as amazing how absolutely perfect others have it.
I see. Well, I'm just wondering, because I run my own little podcast myself, right? And we try to be as honest as possible with each other, and it's fucking brutal. We basically, we want to be junior O&A because we just love you guys that much, right? My question would wind up being is, if I'm the Opie in the situation, which it honestly looks like it's going that way, how would I avoid being that?
How would you avoid getting into this situation on your podcast?
Well, no, what I mean is I don't want to be the Opie kind of guy. So from your point of view, how would you, keep from becoming that? How to be more honest about that kind of thing?
Look, I'm obviously not the person that should be assessing anyone's mental health.
Nick began to sink deeper and deeper into Proud Boy ideology, and eventually just stopped doing the show. It was quiet for about 18 months, until Ian Ellis decided to reunite with the CEO and change the name to Without Apologies, which wouldn't become With Apologies again until Nick was acquired during this merger with a network known as the Rossdawg Army, forming the RDALLC. Rossdawg, vaping plumber from Florida and current producer of the RDALLC network that hosts a universe of characters, first burst on the scene as an antagonist to professional RD-laying death watcher SaiyanZ Rage. He also trolled Danny Pancakes Ross, former producer of the Opie and Anthony show, eventually partially adopting his name as his own.
I got a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I thought you had a problem with talking about a 10-year-old dead show. You fucking hypocrite punk bitch.
Hey man, if that's
nothing to say, hey man. Nothing to say, you little
Right,
pussy hypocrite. Now you're his co-host? Yeah, he's your fucking co-host.
No, he's not my
Sad
co-host.
little fuck.
But the fact,
I know he's not. He's trying to be.
I know, but
the dragging your ass down.
But the fact that you named yourself Dan E. Rossdawg.
Yeah, like, you're such a fucking asshole, bro. Like you
showed yourself
your whole moniker on me.
Danny knows who I am. He's
motherfucking guy posts
so
YouTube
pissed at me
videos
every day. Listen to him go off. Listen to him go off on who he knows who I am.
Yeah, but you
Go ahead,
named yourself after him, which is weird.
Hey, quiet. Shut up. Go ahead.
Don't tell me to
Don,
shut
you're
up.
gonna keep talking.
No, go ahead, Danny. It's your show.
Okay. So, I think I saw your last YouTube video. It got like 7 views. I was very impressed.
Yeah, that's not much less than yours. And you're trying.
Sure, I have no
Is that
problem.
the one where I
with
flushed your podcast review down the toilet?
intriguing. It was a great video. It was very not only intriguing but clever. It was clever. Cyan, why are you moving? Stop packing up your apartment in the middle of this.
His aggressive behavior and deadpan humor became iconic and slightly intimidating to others, being mentioned by artistic fog breather Porcelain in his Joe Matarese documentary. It was on the same stream which Rossdawg had challenged Danny Pancakes that we are introduced to Bo Bandy, a weed-smoking Hispanic man, and admitted daddy's boy. Nonetheless, he wiped the floor with Danny, insinuating that Anthony had fucked Danny's mom, and that he was fired from Rockstar for sexual harassment, both claims which are alleged, of course. Rossdawg and the Ian Ellis Corporation recognized each other's abilities, and also shared a new lust for attacking Oriental shock jock Jimmernam. Matthew Stearns also threw his hat in the ring.
Yo, just want to give a special shout out to Unbleached and the crew. Had a good time on Discord tonight, chitting and a-chatting. Appreciate the shout out on your show. Hope people come check out my videos, subscribe and like. And if you're checking out my shit currently, go check out Unbleached shit currently. And then we can all be happy and shit. And we can fight the oh shit, my weed fat.
Using Rossdawg's channel, the corporation struck a merger along with a plumbing buddy of Ross known as Producer J, aka Bobby Cucillo.
I, commander of the Rossdawg army, here recognize Bobby Cucillo as the new Lieutenant General of this army. Congratulations, Bobby.
Hey Unbleached. You continue to use the radio report as a way to get attention. You're the self-important dick. You literally believe that you're an important figure. We can tell you that Jimmernam didn't community guideline strike you. Our sources say that it was related to the Ian Ellis crew. They knew it would send you over the edge. They knew that you would freak out. This was designed to set up the bit. The parody of your horrible show. More updates coming. Subscribe to the radio report and hit the alert bell.
Matthew Stearns likes to have fun, but history shows that he doesn't play well with others, as shown during this interaction with longtime friend and former co-host of the Unbleached program, Tony. As backdoor alliances began to become more frequent, a rift seemed to develop between Unbleachers and the RDALLC. The precise flashpoint is difficult to pinpoint. Although passive aggressiveness existed between both camps, each had bigger fish to fry.
Music, right?
You're over here going, so how doesn't the world figure out how to block things? It's called fucking filtering. When you turn the filter off, you can fucking play whatever the fuck you want.
Okay, no, I'm asking. Tell me that, yeah.
How stupid is like Tony tonight, guys?
No, I'm out of it. It's not tonight. I'm just out of it. I get it.
No, it's just like, how do I fucking explain that to you? I don't, without coming off like it's the most boring fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, but you go into a stream and you do TTS and somebody says, hey, this is Don A. Fuck you, Matt. That's all? They pay money to say that?
Are you trying to run an ad for it or something?
No. I'm trying to understand how it works.
How text-to-speech works?
Now I know how that works.
Do I need to fucking like do an ad
So
for
you-
it? Like what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
My question
When
is, so you
people
just
fucking send me money, they usually send a little note with it, it's good stream. And it goes, bling, good stream. Usually if you go to Asian Andy's stream, they're fucking going, you know, they're saying outrageous shit. That's usually
Yeah,
what
so you're-
TTS is designed for. It's designed to say nice accolades to the streamer, and other communities use it for toxic shit. Like, dude, you don't fucking go out there and advertise, hey, we want toxic shit over here. Let's put that out there. No one's gonna come over here and do it. They're gonna be like, these guys are faggots.
so you don't go out and play like offensive music or anything.
Can we make fun of Dawn A? Seriously.
Sure.
You're a retard.
Rossdawg found himself in a brutal war with SaiyanZ Entertainment and began to feel tension from his own co-hosts about the direction of the show, as Unbleached was dealing with a revolving door of co-hosts, a wine-guzzling doxer, and a toxic chat that would verbally berate him his entire show. Though to his credit, the kid has wicked heart and streamed despite mounting criticism and adversity. SaiyanZ accused Rossdawg of an awful and untrue claim concerning his family, which fueled a hate-filled war that causes SaiyanZ to still curse Rossdawg at the mere mention of his name.
You're getting smashed again, you dumb fuck. Another time you're getting smashed. And you brought it to another show. Go the fuck away. You'll be the only one telling yourself tomorrow that you choose.
Fucking stupid
ignorant creature. You're getting smashed again, you dumb fuck. Another time you're getting smashed. And you brought it to another show. You are Smoke Phillip, you gap-toothed, fucking stupid pussy.
You're nobody. You're nothing. I'm about around smashing you, and no one's even gonna see it because you only got 6 subscribers.
One of the corporation's biggest moves of 2018 was to expose the recently apparent suicidal Jim Norton as a bit thief, claiming his beloved Chip Chipperson character was actually a rip-off of the Jerky Boys. Mike David was eager to do a deep dive on this topic, so, lazily, I'll let him explain it for me.
Clip of that. Wait, I gotta pause. Can you get me a Dasani, please? Of course. Thank you so much. These little niggers have been going down like water, man. You gotta drink when you're carnivore, bro. You're flushing out all your electrolytes. Beautiful.
It's not my
I hope
fault
this
that
one's
this
good.
is so terrible.
It's not your fault at all, but I can't believe these are even uploaded in this quality. You know, how was this even recorded? I couldn't even make audio sound that bad if I wanted to.
I want to, I'm going to take this, Ian in Chicago we're going to go to. This is
Look
just,
at that.
yes, sir.
So much better.
What's cracking, baby?
Hey, buddy.
Ian, shout out to SaiyanZ Entertainment.
Oh, the guy's the best.
He really is a gem, isn't
He
he?
really is he's starting a revolution.
He's getting to the bottom of a lot.
There's a 16-second clip on YouTube that shows that Chipper might be stolen from the Jerky Boys.
You know,
I'm wondering if you could. Okay, yeah.
I believe it is true.
Yes, that's what I did. I listened to the Jerky Boys and I said, aha, I'll ruin my personal life with this. No, the clip you're talking about, Ian, the character, it's a gay character that, which Jim Norton more stole than Chip.
See how he's putting on this whole attitude like it's all funny, it's fine. What are you talking about? They're accusing you of stealing this character that you kind of ran with and you're making your living off of now. And he's going to pretend like it's so funny? I don't know. I think this might be the tell. This might be how Jim Norton covers things up with this happy, casual way of responding.
That he does, and where it goes, or something, he says, or you do this or something.
Let's hear the clip.
But yes.
Oil or something.
Yeah.
Hang on, let's hear the clip, bud.
You're far from Daytona or Epcot or something? I don't think you know geography or something too well. That doesn't sound right. Florida and New York. You're being silly. Go ahead. What, you want him to try this thing
That's
out
ridiculous.
for you or something?
I know the character.
Wow, they shut it down immediately. Now, they have the clip immediately, by the way, ready for the guy who randomly called in. So that's weird. And then immediately, Sam goes, oh, that's ridiculous. Oh, what do you mean it's ridiculous? It sounds nearly identical. To say it's ridiculous without even, listening. They gave it like 2 seconds. Ah, it's ridiculous. What do you mean it's ridiculous? Sounds identical. You could at least say, yeah, it does sound identical.
The jerky voice.
It's very ridiculous for a couple of reasons. We'll play that entire clip, which is about a 3-minute phone call, which I may have heard.
This is his thing. Oh, yeah, it's very ridiculous. What do you mean, very? Now you're throwing a very. Oh.
What the fuck was that?
That was creepy. I hope we don't lose power here. I'm the only person who does something like this, probably. Or maybe not. Does anyone else use a backup battery? I refuse to get one. They're super cheap. I refuse. I feel like if the power goes out and you lose it all, it was how it was meant to be, you know? But here, it's very ridiculous, very... Why is it very?
In my life, I don't remember it, but again, I've listened to the Jerky Boys, so it's possible that I heard it. But Chip evolved. Chip started out being like, and it was in my personal life, and I would do it to annoy my girlfriends, and then it began changing over the air.
For a second, I thought you were saying Chip evolved.
Wait, but that was they both
Chip
have
evolved.
lisps, and you both have lisps.
But no. The fact that it was something.
Or something.
But when you listen to that whole clip, I mean, to think that I listened to that at one point, and then developed Chip.
That's right.
And then years later brought that in, like it's silly. So to answer your question, of course not, Ian.
Yeah, let me skip Frank Rizzo and go right to this character.
Yeah, one is a gay character, and Chip is just an aggressive, angry asshole. But we'll play the entire.
It's delicious.
Paul.
Okay, listen to this.
You can find it. It's Jerky Boys, because I looked for it. Jerky Boys. Look for Florida Daytona, because he mentions Florida Daytona in there.
Daytona.
But it's a gay character named Jack Torres.
Yeah, Jack Torres, that's the name of the character.
Yeah, who is
So he's explaining, no, I didn't steal Chip Chipperson. It sounds the same. He's saying it doesn't sound the same. The Jerky Boys character is this gay character, and he keeps repeating that the character's gay. You know, like, Chip Chipperson's not gay, so how could this possibly be a stolen thing? The Jerky Boys character is gay. Chip's straight. No, these are all made-up delusions, okay? None of them are, having sex.
Very funny.
We'll just get all silly and shit.
Yeah, but that's, Chip is not...
I just like to fucking dance.
Yeah, yeah, I think that one right there, the Florida, the tropical state, right there. We'll play that when we go into break. All right, Ian, does that answer your question at all?
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to maybe stop doing the character. As far as comedy being...
I was wondering if you were going to maybe stop doing the character. What a brilliant line. And that must have driven Jim Norton insane. And this is what I noticed here. I noticed that should drive him insane. Tell this guy to fuck off. I didn't steal shit. That's what he should do. But Jim Norton is like overcompensating with the niceness. No, I'm probably not going to stop doing the character. So that's what makes me think he is actually lying. I don't think he stole the Chip thing. I think he heard it, and then it kind of, like all the voices. What do you think? James Fritz's voice wasn't stolen from James Fritz? I mean, every voice you do is, you had to hear it somewhere. So he built onto this, probably without even knowing, and then somebody showed him this last week. He probably freaked the fuck out when he heard about this. He probably rehearsed what he was going to say over and over 50 times over on this show to make it sound cool, calm, and collective, right? So I love that Ian says, so yeah, just wondering if you're going to stop doing the character. Like, stop doing the character? I built my whole life around this Chip Chipperson. The Chip Chipperson Show, the $60 cartoon scandal.
I was wondering if you were going to maybe stop doing the character. As far as comedy being dead...
Hold on, Ian. Am I going to stop doing... Of course not.
Why would he stop? Ian, why would he stop doing the character?
Like that literally... people use the word stolen. Like that actually you think that I sat there and went, that's a great line.
I think it's more like the Dane Cook situation where it's like you heard it, you've said that in the past that you don't watch comics.
That's why I don't watch comedy. But it's not like I had a gay character. Well, it's not like Chip is going, oh my God, I got to go down there and do this.
No,
it was like he
that's
just
not...
said something in the context of a bigger call, and we'll play the entire call. And you listen to that, and you think I listened to that call and then came up with this character years ago in my personal life and then brought it on the air and then changed it. It doesn't make sense. So, of course, I'm not going to stop doing the character.
Ian, do you really think that Jim took the character, that Chip is stolen from Jack Torres? Or are you just like, you like stirring shit?
I don't think he took it like, oh, I'm going to run with this. This is going to make me millions. I think he heard it. It sat in the back of his head. He forgot about it. He started doing it to bug his girlfriend, doing it on O&A. And then eventually he got the show and didn't realize that he had jacked it.
Wait, Jack, hold on.
Now that you understand.
Have you heard the entire phone call, that entire phone call? Tell the truth.
I don't need to. That's
oh, my God.
Seconds is, don't you, oh, my God. I mean, this is better than, like,
but you, Jack,
this is America. This is, or something.
Ian.
That's like half your whole gig.
Yeah, see, that's good. I'm glad that Ian stuck up for himself there on that call. And said, don't, oh, my God, me. As if it's so ridiculous to think that this was stolen, you know? So I'm glad that he is sticking up for himself. Ian Ellis, 24,000 plays. If you've ever seen him on Instagram, he always shows you that. 24,000 plays he's had on his podcast.
Haven't heard, Ian, you have not heard the whole call. So we'll play the whole call. You hear what that character is.
It's Jack Torres. It couldn't be more different from Chip.
It's a gay character.
It's literally 2 words. Or something.
Yeah, or something. He's just talking about it. It's not like that's the whole thing. Listen to the
Chip
entire
wasn't built
phone.
on or something.
No, that's the point. It's just something he says like a piece of garbage.
It's enough that it could be in the back of your head, and you could just start doing it as a gag,
Ian,
and then it evolves into Chip.
I understand what you're saying. And I understand that the or something sounds like Chip, but I'm telling you that that's not how the Chip character came to be. I'm telling you, I'm being truthful with you. I thought about it. I searched out the clip. I'm like, let me listen to the clip, and it's simply not what happened.
You know what's disgusting? That Chip is so successful that people are looking to find chinks in the armor. This can't be real.
But don't you can't totally discount the explanation either, and you have to hear the entire call. We'll play it going into break. It's a call that I probably have heard in the past. I didn't remember it when I heard it this time, but we'll play you the entire call, Ian, and you can see the tone of the character. It's just a different thing. But don't say you don't need to hear it. Of course you do.
Okay.
All right, pal. But I did not steal it. No, I've never heard something and went, aha, I'm going to take that.
And then they play the entire Jerky Boys call, which is what he keeps referring to. You got to hear the whole call. And it sounds even more like Chippison. So we will keep you updated on this story here.
I'm not happy. I'm really I'm kind of upset because I got a tweet earlier today, and we're going to check out a video. Let's just get right into this so I can fucking rip him a new hole.
Right after we started making Dante Nero, this popped up, and it's a video of somebody calling into another show. I don't know what show this is. We'll find.
I don't know what show this is. What, you didn't do research, you fuck? Look at his stupid-ass tattoos. He thinks he's a man. He's such a man that he has these ugly-ass tattoos. It looks like Detroit fucking, what is that shit on his fucking his left arm? It's ugly. You're fucking ugly. You look fit. Fuck you, you piece of shit, wearing that stupid-ass hat.
Video of somebody calling into another show as Dante Nero, but kind of doing my impression of Dante Nero.
His impression of Dante Nero. Who the fuck is Dante Nero? Google this.
Never heard of him. I've never heard of him.
They talk about shit that nobody cares about. Dante Nero? Dante Nero?
Sounds like a crackhead.
Never heard of this guy. Who the fuck is a Dante Nero? What an idiot. Let's continue. Go Google Dante Nero. Do you think anybody would know who the fuck Dante Nero is? Not me.
Sounds like a
douche. I gotta let you know, he does it a lot better. It sounds, when I first heard this clip, I thought this was a clip of Dante Nero calling into a radio show.
Because you're a fucking idiot. And he's got a nice microphone, but a shitty, I mean, that's a shit setup. Yeah, try to do what I do. He can't do what I do. What is his name? Red Bar? He calls himself Red Bar.
That sounds ridiculous.
Dude, I would kick his ass in like 10 seconds. Literally.
Probably.
Bitch.
They're going to take a call from what's supposed to be Dante Nero. Let's take
everybody
a
knows him. All right, 304, you're on with Jessica.
Hello. Yeah, it's Dante.
Dante?
Dante Nero.
Him sucking on that vape pen, thinking he's like, oh, the shit. You're a fucking loser, dude. Doing this for 6 years, YouTube or whatever, on radio for probably a decade or longer. Dante Negro.
I'm seeing you.
Yeah, Dante Negro. That's what he is.
Jimmernam, after realizing the error of his ways, cried for over an hour on stream before Don A, who had his own brushes with the LLC, but that's for another day, talked Jimmer off the ledge. Brokebar joined in the folly at the end, but this seemed to re-energize him, and like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the Yellow Mamba was born.
Alright? Life is what you make it, like I says to you.
What's
right?
0 times 1,658?
Keep that shit up, little soldier.
Oh, you don't know 0 times 1,692?
You're gonna keep trucking along, and I promise you're gonna make it in life.
What is 0 times negative 455?
Hey, you never know. You might make it up to the fry machine. Just keep fucking working. Keep paying attention, right?
0 times 1?
And don't pay attention to that ex-wife of yours.
Okay, so I guess you're a real retard. Holy shit.
Stay strong, bro.
This time is different. It's not like the times before. I cross my heart that I won't kill no more. Jesus, watch over me, keep my anger at home. You better bless these wicked hands, 'cause they got a mind of their own. Don't go downtown. The devil whispers in my ear, it's time for your curtain call. So I dress myself on up with alcohol. Step aside, step aside. Oh, let the whistler through. There really ain't no help at all for folks like me and you. Don't go downtown. Don't go downtown. Get your goddamn hands up, don't you look at me.
I'm started, I am. I'll start trouble in a moment.
No one's dying here.
My hands in here.
Well, I came to get it on. Let's get it on. This time is different, not like the time before. I cross my heart that I won't kill no more.